So welcome back to the Bacon Lodge. Today we're going to be upgrading my DeWalt planer. This is the DW735. There's a lot of videos out there about how you're upgrading. You go to a helical blade. I bought this set, I guess you'd call it, or kit. It's from Amazon. It's Find Buy tool, and it's just a knockoff of the Shelix head. But it was quite a bit cheaper. When I bought this, it was only $300. So that kind of is the reason why I went with this one. There's a lot of videos out there you can watch that tell you about how it makes it less noisy. It's supposed to be a little bit smoother cut, and it lasts longer. The reason why I upgraded it is I had the old style knife blades in there, and they were dull as hell, and I needed to change them out anyhow, and I was finding a hard time getting them other than through Amazon. So I figured if I was going to do that, I might as well upgrade to the better head. It did cost a little bit more. Supposedly, like I said, though, it makes it not as noisy. It doesn't use as much power, and it's supposed to make a much finer cut. The idea is that it uses 56 different knives, these little knives that are carbides. And that way, if one of them gets nicked, you can just change out. You can just rotate one of the knives instead of having to do the entire blade. Old style was just 3 knives for the entire length, and if you get a little nick in one of them, the whole blade is ruined. You can rotate them at one time. These you can rotate 4 times, so it should make it a little bit better. I'm going to do the video of me changing it out. It wasn't too horribly hard. I already did it. And then I'll show you it running. I didn't do any pre-testing of noise or anything like that because there's a million videos out there like that already. So I'm just showing you a shorter video than I found of how to do it. It shows you all the parts, but if you don't want to listen to somebody talk about everything for 20 minutes, this is kind of an abbreviated one that makes life a lot simpler. You just see everything how you do it. Pop it in, and then I'll show you at the end of me going through a couple of boards on some walnut or something like that. So hopefully that works out. Okay, to start off, you take off the top and the dust shield. I didn't show that because it's standard maintenance. You use the Torx key then, and you remove the side panel and the handle. They're all with the Torx key that comes with the planer itself, so you should have that. Once the panel's off, I set it aside, and I put all of the stuff that I'm taking off, the nuts and bolts, in that so they're kind of all contained. Clean it up a little bit, and then you're going to remove the spring here. Make sure you don't overstretch it like I did. And then just a Phillips to remove the tensioner. A number 4 Allen key to remove the bolts for the 2 sprockets. Once you have those off, and just take them off together. That way it doesn't mess with the chain too much. And you have to work the belt itself off, which is kind of a pain, but once you work it for a little while, it'll come off. And then you need a number 24 millimeter socket to remove that nut. The pulley itself just kind of pulls off. There's a keyway in there. Make sure you pull that out. And then there's a washer behind the keyway that you pull off. Once you have those off, you need a pair of snap ring remover pliers. So you pull the snap ring off, and that's it for this side. Other side, do the same thing. You're going to remove the panel. Once you have that off, you're going to use a snap ring to remove the two snap rings that hold the sprockets in on this side, which you think they'd be the same on both sides, but they're not, of course. And then for the, make sure you remove the spring, be careful again, and pull off the 2 sprockets. And this side, you need a number 5 Allen key to remove the 3 Allen keys. Only remove the 3 Allen keys. The other ones leave on there because you're not taking apart the gearbox. Just the 3 Allen keys, and once you get those out, you just pull it out and you kind of leave it hang there. I chose to remove the gear next. The reason why I did that was because I've seen a couple other videos, people when they are driving that out, they mushroom that gear, and I thought it'd just be smarter to remove it because that way I don't have any chance of marring it up. So remove the gear, and then I remove the safety retainer in there that keeps it from spinning when you don't want to. I left it on until this point so that way you didn't have to block it to keep it rotating. Use a piece of hardwood or a brass mallet or something and drive out the entire head. It takes a few whacks. Once you get it out, it's pretty easy. Once it's free, just make sure you kind of guide it through so that it doesn't tear up the bearing surface for the next one you're going to be putting back in there. Put the other one back in there, you just do the same thing. You guide it through, making sure you're not tearing it up. When you're putting the bearings in, you support the far side so that the bearing is lining up with the hole because it's a smaller hole. Once you get it started, just come over to this side and whack it the rest of the way in. Make sure it's seated up against that snap ring you left on the other side. And then you put the snap ring back in on the side that you took it out. Then you put the keyway, or the washer back in, sorry. The washer first, then the keyway. And then the pulley. Now for the nut on this, there's probably some crazy spec you're supposed to use. I used a block of wood to keep them from spinning, and I just tightened it down a little bit more than hand tight. When I took the other one off, it was barely tightened. Like, I didn't have to do anything to take it off, so I guarantee it's tighter than it was originally. When you're fishing the belt back on, get the bottom on first, and then you have to make sure the top is all the way in there, so you have to kind of wiggle it on both of them. So you get all the way around the bottom, then I pushed it on the top as well. Putting the chain sprockets back up, just line up the two little keyways with they are, and then use the Phillips or the number 4 Allen key to tighten down the bolts. And then put the tensioner back on. It's a Phillips screwdriver once again, and you put the spring back on there. Put the side panel back on with the Torx that was provided by the machine itself. Tighten them down. Don't crank the crap out of these because they're just panel holding. It's just cutting, just tight. And you put the handle back on so you can actually raise and lower it. Otherwise, you can't do that. Now back on the other side, you put the gear back in. That was a 6mm, if I didn't say at the beginning. And you tighten that down. You wiggle this box in there. It took me a few times, but once it wiggled in there, it was pretty well. Worked pretty well. Then you tighten down the 3 number 5 Allen keys. Make sure that washer is on there before you put on the 2 sprockets, because it's got to space it out a little bit. Like I said, I didn't take mine off, so I didn't have to mess with it. And then I had to rotate it a little bit to get it to actually fit on there. Put the tensioner on with the spring back on it, and then I use the snap ring tools to put those snap rings back on. Put the side panel back on. Tighten everything down. And then I'm going to show you the cutters here. So you take those out, and on the cutter there's going to be a 1, 2, 3, and then like a square. When you orient them on the head itself, make them so they're all in the same direction. Basically, I put it so that the number 1 was legible against the back block. You start the screw, make sure, because a couple of mine were stripped, the screws were marred, so I'd actually throw a couple away. But once you get them started, right before you tighten it down, you kind of wiggle it so that it's tight up against the back. If you don't wiggle it, sometimes they don't line up right, and then they won't cut right. So you want to make sure you wiggle it right before you tighten it down. And I just kind of spun it a few times with my hand before I turn it off. Put the dust shield back on. Put the top back on. Tightened everything down. And that is the reassembly process for now. Okay, so this is the first piece of walnut I ran through it. I'll be honest with you, that works way better than I thought it ever would. I mean, the blades that I had in there were old and dull. It is way less noisy. Like I had headphones on, which same ones I've always worn, and I could barely notice the change between it running without putting the wood through and with the wood through it. And I know this isn't a very wide piece. It's only about 3 inches wide. So if you do like a 10-inch wide piece of wood, it's going to make more noise because it's going to have more speed. But it also fed through a lot faster than the other ones. I do try to make sure that the planer is waxed up really well, so that makes it slide easier. But that was a mass improvement. Like I said, I watched a lot of videos of people doing this upgrade, and they're always like, it's a little bit better. This is like, I mean, I'm still going to sand it or whatever I use, but it's almost that, like, it's smooth. Like, there's no snipe on the ends. There's nothing like that, which is amazing. I'm very impressed with it. I mean, I'm only a part-time whatever woodworker. I'm not going to spend much more than a machine like this would cost. I mean, I think I bought the machine 7 or 8 years ago for like $600. This was another $300 upgrade. I do have one more upgrade I got coming for it. It's a dust hood that goes straight out the top. This over here is really annoying because it kind of just gets in the way. Whereas if the one that goes out the top seems like it'd be a lot better. Supposedly it sucks better, like you have less debris coming out the bottom, which would be awesome too. But having the hose not coming out the front, the back, I think it would be a lot easier. So that way I can just have it going straight up into it. Makes life a lot easier. That'll be, I don't know if I'll make a video on that. It's as simple as doing the maintenance on it. So you take the cover off, you pop off the dust extractor now, and you just screw the other one in its place. So it's not really much for a video there. Once again, I never knew the helical heads were this much better than regular standard blades, but holy cow, it's a lot better, at least with what I had compared to what I had in here to what it switched up to. So very happy with it. Hopefully this was a good video for you to watch. If you did like it, give me a like or subscribe or all that great stuff. Thank you for continuing to watch my videos. I know them kind of sparse right now because it's summertime and I'm doing a lot of work and I don't have a lot of projects going on. But I have a few that I've kind of started. They're in the middle of the process, so I'll get those out to you this fall. Once again, thank you for watching. I do very much appreciate it. May God bless you and you have a great day.